resistance and revolt. And we were learning about the social reform movements that were taking place in different parts of India. So far you have learnt about the Brahma Samaj, about the contributions of the social reformers like that of Raja Ram Mohan Roy, Vijaya, then Govinda Ranade, Dayanand Saraswati, and also about the Narayan Guru or Virsalingam. So these were the people who were taking some measures for reforming the society or to reform some of the practices, both religious and social practices which were meaningless or which were not logical from the point of view of the people. So they wanted to reform the social movements, and while doing Bengal or while learning about the Bengal social reform movement in Bengal, you have learned about Raja Ram Mohan Roy, Vidyasagar, and also about the efforts of the Young Bengal movement. Now today we will learn about the Brahma movement and about the contributions of the leaders contributions of the reformers like that of Debendranath Tagore, Kisha Chandra and others. Now if we look at it, the Brahma Samaj was formed by Raja Ram Mohan Roy. The main aim of the Brahma Samaj was to reform or to spread the ideal of monotheism, that is the worship of gods, to simplify of one god, and at the same time to simplify the various practices that were there associated with religion. So mainly for the simplification of the religious practices of Hinduism that were there, and to spread the ideal of the spread of worshipping of one god, the Brahma Samaj was formed. At the same time, the Brahma Samaj was also working for the upliftment of women in the society. The Brahma Samaj aimed its movement was mainly directed for establishment of educational institutions for women, for stopping various kinds of or preventing various kinds of social practices like that of child marriage, polygamy. They supported widow marriage, and they were always making efforts for the upliftment of the women in the society. And when we talk about Brahma Samaj, we also need to learn about, or we also need to know about Debendranath Tagore. He joined he was a very keen follower of Raja Ram Mohan Roy, and he formed the Adi Brahma Samaj. In 1843, he founded the Dattavadani Sabha and also introduced the Dattavadani Patrika, which was edited by Akshay Kumar Datto. And we find that through the establishment of various institutions and organizations, Debendranath Tagore was taking an active part in the movement or in reforming the society, and at the same time he wanted to bring about a cultural movement also. And we find that he established or founded the Hindu Hitarthi in 1846 with the help of Radhakanta Dev. Then he founded the Hindu Metropolitan College and the Brahma Vidyalaya in the year 1859. And with the death of Debendranath Tagore in the year 1905, we find that there was a serious blow to the cultural development, cultural movement, and the reform that was taking place. Next, we come to know about Kisha Chandra. Now, Kisha Chandra was also a very active participant in the Brahma movement that was taking place in Bengal, and he was called as Brahmananda by Debendranath Tagore. He founded the Indian Brahma Mandir in 1869, which wanted to bring a harmony between temple, mosque, and churches. So he founded the Indian Brahma Mandir to bring about a kind of assimilation of all the religions, or he wanted to bring in harmony with the church, the temple, and the mosque. And in 1878, due to some conflicts with between Kisha Chandra and some of his young followers, as a result, we find that some of the followers of the Brahma Samaj, they come out of it and they form the Southern Brahma Samaj separately. At the same time, and we find that in 1880, the Navavidhan Samaj was established. Now, Kisha Chandra, apart from being an active member of the Brahma Samaj, he also protested against the women, against the child marriage and the polygamy that was there. He established institutions for the spread of women education like that of the Victoria Institution. And he also took an active part in the expansion of equal rights by establishing the Civil Marriage Act. And he also wrote books that on Sri Krishna, Jesus and Muhammad. So he was a person who was a learned person, knowledgeable, and at the same time he was spreading the ideas of the Brahma Samaj. Then we come to know about Vijaya Krishna Goswami. Now Vijaya Krishna Goswami was originally born in a Brahmin family. And he was born in an Advaita Vaishnava family, but he got influenced by the ideas of the Brahma Samaj and he joined it. And he was also he came under the influence of the Rabindranath Tagore, and he started taking active part in the Brahma movement. He was also admitted to the medical college, but he left it at the end of it. He left his medical studies. And along with Kisha Chandra and Amarnath Gupta, he founded the Ordinary Brahma Samaj in 1878. But in his later life, we find that Vijaya Krishna became a critic of Kisha Chandra on the concept of divine incarnation. They had a conflict or differences of opinion between them. And we find that he then left the Brahma Samaj and returned to Vaishnava religion of Chaitanya, and he started the new Vaishnava movement. In 1886, he also founded the Gendariya Ashram at Dhaka in 1858 with the help of his followers like Bipin Chandripal or Akshini Kumar Datta. And so we find that during this period of the Brahma movement, there was also a revival of Hinduism, a modification of the Hinduism that was taking place, and these people were taking an active part in it. So we have learned about Rabindranath Tagore, we have learned about Kisha Chandra, Vijaya Krishna Goswami, and of course we need to know about Ramakrishna Paramahansa, who had also a very keen, important role in the propagation of the reform movement, because the simple, easy ways, the views that he had, that brought about a change in the society. And we see that Kisha Chandra was also influenced, or we find that Vijaya Krishna Goswami, Balaram Basu, Girish Ghosh, they were all influenced by Ramakrishna. So though he is taken as a religious leader, but at the same time we can say that he played a very important role in the reform movement that was taking place, because his ideas, the simple, easy ideas, was easily accepted by the people, and there were many followers. And one of his most important followers was that of Vivekananda. And he was the one who started the Ramakrishna mission, and he founded the Sri Ramakrishna Math in Belur in 1898. And we know that still now this organization is working for the upliftment of the society, working for those who are in need of help. And so in perspective of any kind of differences that is based on caste, religion or creed. So Ramakrishna Dev was there, he was teaching his ideas in a very simple, easy language. There were many followers, and one of the prominent followers of Ramakrishna was Vivekananda, who started the Belur Math with based on the ideas of Ramakrishna. He served as a example, or he was like an example for the youth. He talked about self-sacrifice, he talked about equality of all in the society, irrespective of any caste or creed or religious. And he believes the ideas of Swamiji said to be man-making religion and practical Vedanta. So their ideas were different from others. They wanted to bring about a change in the society. So with that, we come to the end of the social reform movement that was taking place in different parts of India during this period of time. And we have read about the reform movements and also about the reformers, or the people who had taken an active part in it. So for you have to read the chapter, and in our next video we will take up the next portion of the chapter. We will read about the Aligarh movement.